This is IMT News.
देखती आंखों सुनते कानों आपको रक्षंदा जाहिद का सलाम। आप देख रहे हैं IMT न्यूज फ्रॉम लंदन। बरतानिया की हुक्मरान लेबर पार्टी की जानिब से हॉन्सलो वेस्ट में कामयाब समर टी पार्टी की तकरीब का इनेकाद। बरतानिया की हुक्मरान लेबर पार्टी ने इतवार 25 मई 2025 को हॉन्सलो वेस्ट के किंग्सवे बार रेस्टोरेंट में एक शानदार कामयाब समर टी पार्टी का इनेकाद किया। तयशुदा मुकर्ररा वक्त से दोपहर 3 बजे से 5 बजे तक जारी रहने वाली तकरीब शुरका ने महफिल की पुरजोर दिलचस्पी और मकालमे की फिजा के बाइस 4 घंटे से जायद जारी रही। अवाम की भरपूर हाजिरी ने मकामी कम्युनिटी के इत्तेहाद और लेबर पार्टी के लिए अवामी एतमाद को जाहिर किया। तकरीब में लेबर पार्टी के रहनुमा, मकामी कारकुनान और मुख्तलिफ शोबाए जिंदगी से ताल्लुक रखने वाले अफराद ने शिरकत की। इस मौके पर कम्युनिटी से राब्ते, अवामी मसाइल के हल और आइंदा इंतखाबात की तैयारी के सिलसिले में भी बातचीत की गई। मेहमान खुसूसी मोहतरमा सीमा मल्होत्रा, रुकने पार्लियामेंट और वजीर दाखिला, इनके हमरा कौंसिल लीडर शंतनु राजावत भी तकरीब में शामिल थे। काउंसलर समिया चौधरी, रुकने काबीना बराए तालीम, बच्चों, हुनर रोजगार और दीगर मौजूद शख्सियात ने भी शिरकत की। मेहमान खुसूसी मोहतरमा सीमा मल्होत्रा ने अपने खिताब में लेबर हुकूमत की कारकर्दगी पर रोशनी डाली और खास तौर पर ट्रांसपोर्ट के शोबे में बेहतरी का जिक्र किया। उन्होंने हॉन्सलो, हेस्टन और फेल्थम में अवामी राबतों और खिदमात को वसअत देने के लिए जारी कोशिशों पर बातचीत की। उन्होंने कारकुनान को इंतखाबात की तैयारी में यकजहती और सरगर्मी से हिस्सा लेने की तलकीन की। इस मौके पर मिस्टर शंतनु राजावत ने आइंदा बल्दियाती इंतखाबात के लिए मेयर के उम्मीदवार मेयर एमी क्राफ्ट और डिप्टी मेयर का बाज़ाब्ता ऐलान किया। कारकुनान को ज्यादा से ज्यादा मुतहर्रिक होने की अपील की। काउंसलर समिया चौधरी ने तमाम रजाकारों की मेहनत को सराहते हुए तमाम मेहमानों का शुक्रिया अदा किया कि वो अपनी तमाम मसरूफियात के बावजूद वक्त निकालकर इस अहम तकरीब का हिस्सा बने। सीनियर पार्टी रहनुमा उमर मेमन ने मोहतरमा सीमा मल्होत्रा के साथ इंतखाबी मुहिम की हिकमत अमली पर गुफ्तगू की और अपने मुकम्मल ताउन का यकीन दिलाया। तकरीब का एक खूबसूरत लम्हा ऐसा भी था जब एक कमसिन और पुरजोश बच्चा ईजान उमर ने मोहतरमा सीमा मल्होत्रा को इनकी खिदमात के एतराफ में फूलों का गुलदस्ता पेश किया। तकरीब का इख्तिताम चाय और हल्की फुल्की तवाज़ो के खूबसूरत माहौल में हुआ। इस खुसूसी समर टी पार्टी के यादगार और खूबसूरत इनेकाद ने तमाम शुरका को लेबर पार्टी के विजन और मिशन के लिए मजीद पुरअज़म कर दिया। आइए देखते हैं ये रिपोर्ट।
Thank you to Shantanu and to Amy for their words as well, and to all of you for coming here this afternoon. I must say it was also just a little bit about how we are able to keep in touch, because the challenge with a parliamentary timetable is a bit like a school term. You end up having no time in the week, and so now that we've hit recess and half term, it was a really good opportunity to have everyone come together just for a couple of hours this afternoon and to be able to spend this time with each other. But I also just want to pay another few acknowledgements, and the first is to Councillor Jagdish Sharma. In a sense, we underplay the significance of the achievement that we also celebrated this year with your 50 years as a councillor in Hounslow and as a leader. But I also believe you were the first Asian magistrate in the country, or one of the first, and one of the first Asian mayors in the country. So I think we need to give you a big round of applause for your achievement. But also for the support that you have provided to so many of us who have come after you in the local party, and being a great mentor to those who are coming forward onto the council, but also being a great friend to so many in the community, many of whom are here today. Subhash Mahajan uncle, who's here, and thank you Manjeet uncle as well for your support for this afternoon as well. But Jagdish, you were also a friend to my parents. And I think what we understand here in the local Labour Party is how much of a family we are, in that this is a community that has seen people come through and then not just take but give back. And that is, I think, a true characteristic of our values in Hounslow, but truly also of Labour values. And it is wonderful to see, and thank you, my mum's friends are also able to come and also share in the selling of raffle tickets which they have become so adept at doing and persuasive. And it is lovely because it is continuing to have the presence of my mother here and my parents with the friends that are also here. And a very special welcome to my uncle and auntie Jawa, who are here with Sanjay, because Auntie Jawa was actually very close to as a friend of my father's when he was a child. And so these are treasured relationships, and I'm very grateful that they were able to come today. And of course to Sushil and my mother-in-law, who are forever dealing with me, disappearing and reappearing at all sorts of hours of the day. But a huge thank you. Look, I just want to I'll do one thing before I say a few words about the Labour Party. And that is to also say a happy birthday to Mr. Dias for last week. So, Mr. Dias, we just have a small bottle of wine for you. If you want to come and just to say a happy birthday to you, which is just behind there.
It's his 21st.
Yeah.
He looks it.
It's his 21st birthday again. So, happy birthday, Mr. Dias. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
But just to say a few words. Firstly, also to acknowledge the incredible work of our councillors who we recognised earlier, because being a councillor is incredibly difficult, and especially at these times where 14 or so years, and it is impossible for a Labour government, no matter how willing, to turn that around overnight. But the way in which Hounslow Council, compared to other councils we know, has been able to do what it can to maintain those core services and to do what it is to invest in our environment, to invest in our communities, to give support to community organisations, to give them the chance to organise, to come forward, to have well-being projects, to have sports projects, to be able to support young people coming forward in our communities as well. This is because of the priorities of our councillors and our council leadership. And they fight a tough battle. They are forever fighting against this sort of tide and a wave of challenges coming their way, challenges that they don't have control over. But in all of those areas, whether it's special needs support for our young people in Hounslow, or making sure that we can support businesses and small businesses in whichever way we can, it's making sure that we have that sense of community confidence and cohesion together that can make the difference sometimes, and actually recognising that even if it can't do everything, it's a council that cares. And this is going to be incredibly important because next year we also have council elections in London. And they are going to be tough because elections are inevitably tough when you have a Labour government. Because for Labour councils, people will always be, most people I hope will be happy with a lot of things. But it's very difficult in government because the reality is people will also be unhappy with something. And that's why it's important for us to be continuing to make the case, continuing to explain how long it takes to change things, the reason for the choices for what we are doing in government, and also where we want to see things be different in the future. And so this is important. This is why we go canvassing, as I know our teams have been out again this weekend. Every weekend there will be teams out somewhere across Hounslow, because talking to our residents, being in touch, hearing what they're saying, feeding back to me, feeding back to the council is incredibly important. That's how we keep in touch with what our communities are saying and feeling on the ground, and the new challenges that have come up that they also feel that they need some support in responding to. So this year we're going to be out a lot more, and it's going to be out to win and to keep those seats in Hounslow, because what we are going to need as we move forward with a Labour government is a strong Labour council, not just here, but in councils across London and across the country. And we can see that that is going to be really important, because there are so many things that are starting to be better even now. Less than a year since Labour's been in. It is extraordinary to me to see how stable the economy feels, how even when we had the threat and the issues of tariffs coming to our economy, when you compare what it has been like with crisis after crisis, supply chain crisis, the petrol crisis, the lorries, then we have so many other issues, the energy crisis, the growing waiting list under the NHS, the 7.5 million appointments that people were waiting for when we came into power. And yet we have seen those waiting lists come down as waiting times shorten, as our government prioritises making sure that we've got evening and weekend appointments. As someone said to me the other day, she said, I can't do what I was planning on Sunday because I've got a scan on Sunday afternoon. This is a government that is absolutely determined to put the health of our country first. Because it is when people have good health, they're able to support themselves and their families, achieve their aspirations, go to work, make sure there's income coming into the household. Because making sure that people and families have money in their pockets, the ability to spend that on what their families need, that is the first priority for our Labour Chancellor. That's what she says when she talks about why growth is so important. Because it's with growth that the country can afford to then pay for the projects that it knows are so important. For investment in the NHS, for investment in our police that we saw cut so deeply under the Tories, and where we still pay the price of that. Investment to make sure that we halve violence against women and girls in a decade. Investment to make sure that we have safer streets for all of us, for young people too, when they are walking around. Investment to make sure that we have 6,500 more teachers in our schools, that we have mental health provision and support in our schools, with far too many children in our community too, unable to attend school because of their own mental health issues and anxiety, and also their fear of being in schools and in mainstream environments. These are things that have taken a long time in building up, and they're going to take time to change. But that's why we've got to work with what the evidence shows about where we need that investment, and we have to prioritise that investment for the country. But it is also vital that we invest in other aspects of our public services. And it is incredibly exciting that this week we are seeing the launch of GB Railways. You might see that on my social media, and hopefully it's going to be on your social media. And South Western Railways, which comes through Feltham, this week is going to be the first railway coming in under GB Railways. As those companies come up for renewal with their contracts, that will be the opportunity for the country to take them over. And what we want to see is once again that we have a railway network across the country working in the interests of our people, of our businesses, of our families, with quality going up, reliability going up, costs coming down, and people having pride once again, just as we have in our NHS, that we can have pride once again in a nationalised railway. That is a massive achievement and will be a massive legacy for this Labour government. So I want to thank you all for being here and being part of it. When things are challenging, and they always will be because government isn't easy, we know which side we're on. And we're on the side of people, hard-working families, we're on the side of our businesses, we're on the side of prosperity for all of our communities up and down the country. And we want to make sure that that message is heard, because mark my words, politics is going to get tougher. We know that there is politics and parties that are out there to divide us, to divide our communities, to divide our country. And what we know is that we are the party that is there for everyone. We are the party that recognises the challenges that we face in securing our borders, in tackling irregular migration, in making sure that we have much more control, not just across our borders, but also across our national security. And on these, and the way in which Britain has once again become an outward-facing nation, working across the world with credibility and respect, one of the first countries to have a trade deal with America, resetting our relationship with the European Union, a trade deal with India that is set to benefit all of our economies and our businesses. Why did this elude the Tories? Why did it? With the number of rounds of negotiations they had. I think it's also because they didn't ever want to make decisions. They didn't ever want accountability. And they also, I think, didn't have respect for others and how we as a global nation, outward facing, look at how we work in partnership, how we give and take, but how we have a common mission of prosperity and security for our countries and for other countries too. So we should be incredibly proud of some of these achievements and how we're moving forward Britain in the world. Because it isn't just about what we say to each other, it's how we're perceived. It's people's confidence to come as visitors, to support our economy. It's businesses' confidence to come and invest. And the 60 billion that was announced even last November of investment in our country is about starting the renewal that we need in our infrastructure and in our country for generations to come. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for your ongoing support to Shantanu, the council, and to me and to my office. And I will just ask Harjot, where's Harjot? And Aisha, where's Aisha? If anyone wants to, I know there's a few people who said want to have time for appointments just to come and see us about any other local issues or issues that you're facing, please mention it to them because we can take your details today and make sure that you're able to come along to our next surgeries. So a huge thank you. And I'm just, while I finish, I'm just going to see, I think Samiya was going to come up to do a very quick vote of thanks before we then have some photographs and a raffle. So thank you very much.
Deputy Mayor of Hounslow. Now they may be situated in wards outside of Feltham and Heston, but they are Feltham and Heston's own. So I'm really delighted to inform colleagues, friends, that our Mayor for the next year will be Councillor Amy Croft. Stand up, Amy. And our Deputy Mayor will be our very own Councillor Dunmia. I'm sure they look forward to being out and about in and around Feltham and Heston with many of you, looking at your causes, championing your causes as they champion the borough. So from me, from all my council colleagues, thank you for everything you do. Let's keep it up. We've got crucial elections next year that will be really, really important here in London. Let's make sure that all tiers of government remain in Labour control so that we can do the right thing. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite Councillor Amy Croft. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, thanks for coming. I just want to say a few words. Now, I've got a few different hats. So I will have from Tuesday the hat of Mayor, but I am also a ward councillor and that comes with different responsibilities. I'm also a resident of Feltham and I'm also involved in the community. And I just want to say a few words about that. Oh, and also I was Seema's election agent at the last election. So from a top level, I suppose, great news, we're in government, we're doing great things, we need to get that message out on the doorstep, as Shantanu says, and we need to kind of keep the faith a little bit and make sure that we are bringing the ethos, the vibe and the values into our communities. Now I know there's loads of you in this room who do some absolutely fantastic things in the community, designed to empower people, designed to build others up, and I really, really look forward as the next Mayor of Hounslow, which is a fantastic honour, but I'm so excited about the fact that I'm going to get out to meet loads of you in your environments where you're helping people on the doorstep. And within your communities. So I'd just like to give another kind of shout out that we're going to need a lot next May to make sure that we still are able to represent Hounslow Borough as a Labour borough underneath the Labour government, bringing our values to the community and helping you to provide that kind of community love, spirit and interaction that we all hold so very dear. So thank you all very, very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you all around. Thank you.
And lastly, I'd like to pull up Seema to say a few words. After she has her speech, we'll have some group photos, and it will end with a raffle prize. So I hope everybody's bought their raffle tickets as well. Yeah?
Coming around again.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you, Seema. It's always really, really informative and really nice to listen to you. And thank you, Shantanu. Thank you, Mahek. And I think I would like to first thank Seema and her staff and to Shantanu. Regardless how busy he is as a leader of the council, he's always put every single effort in to have these little small get-togethers, see members and speak to them at these events. And thank you to each and every one of you that you've taken the time out and you're here to spend some time with us to talk about on the local issues and your ongoing support you have given us and the community for campaigning, canvassing. And we really appreciate that as councillors, as MPs, as the leaders of the council, as our local CLP. Thank you so much for being here. Special thank you to Kingsway once again for hosting us and to Barisab for all the food. Thank you so much, Barisab, for everything that you've done from Open Kitchen. And thank you to the councillors who have participated in the last minute raffle we've planned 2 days ago. Thank you so much to all of you for being here once again. And congratulations to Amy and Junu for this year's Mayor and Deputy Mayor. But I would like to say thank you so much to Shakila Prum, who's been Falcon and Heston's Deputy Mayor, and Karen Smith, outgoing Mayor as well. Thank you so much to all of you.
Well, thank you. This has been a very special afternoon. Today we were bringing together people from within the Labour Party, our members, our councillors, our community members and some supporters, but also those who are new, who are just interested in what we're doing in the community. It was an important time to be able to talk about the work of the local council, to be able to talk about the work we're doing in government, and to talk about why it's so important compared to the chaos that we had before, that we have a Labour government and all the change that we're bringing to improve our economy, which is now the fastest growing in the G7, but also desperately improve our public services. And I'm so pleased I was able to update on some of those matters, including the start of bringing railways into public ownership beginning this week, and to also encourage more people to come forward to share their views and to also talk to members of the community about what we're doing in government and how they can contribute.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Seema.
You're very welcome.
Hello, I'm Councillor Shantanu Rajawat, leader of the London Borough of Hounslow and chair of Feltham and Heston CLP. We're here at a get-together of all Labour Party members in Feltham and Heston with great MP Seema Malhotra, many councillors, but most importantly council activists and local activists who go out and knock doors. The message is very clear. There is a new government in town that is changing things, making things better, and that includes Seema at the government working alongside a council that is working very hard for us. So this is about a collective effort, working together, and being a community and sharing our community.
Here we've had Falcon and Heston Tea Party today. I'm really glad to see all our supporters and all our Labour Party members who are here. We've sat down, we've had coffee, but we have talked about 2026, our local elections as well, and what we can do to improve the local area as well. I would like to say thank you very much to Kingsway for hosting us, Open Kitchen for supporting the questions, and all the councillors, community and our supporters for being here.
Thank you. We've been invited by Seema Malhotra. She's a great friend. I've been coming to her event for the last 15 years. This event was very successful. And I'm actually on 27th of June, my name will be announced. So I'm really looking forward to work with the greater community. And as I said, it's always wonderful to be at Seema's event. It's always successful. She looks after our residents, councillors, and everybody in the community. Thank you.
Rakshinda Zahid, IMT News, London.